Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation where you flow your presence enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Wow. Welcome to DBDS Live. I am your host, Mel Money, with my sister, my DBDS sister, Gianni. Happy Valentine's Day to you. How you feeling?
Hi, Mel. Happy Valentine's Day to you, too, even though I feel Valentine's Day is every day and not just one day out of the year. But I am doing blessed and well. And yourself on this, I don't know, is it cold? Super cold there, or is it all right?
It's super cold. They're talking about another snowstorm coming. Oh man, I don't know if me and my best friend, the snowblower, could take it anymore, but we're doing the best we can, you know?
You guys are getting hit.
Yes, but we're holding it down. I'm feeling great, my sister. And to all the lovebirds out there, happy Valentine's Day, as Gianni stated. Valentine's Day should be every day, straight up.
Absolutely.
And also to all my peoples who are single out there, please check out our relationship site, dbdssingles.com, where love and loyalty still exists. Just check it out. But before we get the love energy flowing, I just want to give a special shout out to my DBDS brand ambassador, Nicole, who is currently sick right now, as well as my partner, Mo, and his wife, Gina. Get well. Prayers to you guys, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes. So now today's show will be related to setting boundaries and why developing a backbone will actually make you more attractive compared to my brothers and sisters who tend to struggle in their relationships without these attributes. And with that being said, today's show is titled, What Impact of Being Too Nice Can Have on Your Relationship and How to Keep Your Edge. What you think of that topic, Gianni?
I love it. I think it's a really good topic to talk about. I got a couple notes here that I think will, give people some advice to think about. I always like to tell people these are our opinions. These are not, they're just opinions. It's just something to help you guys with. So I hope somebody today is going to be able to get help from the beautiful panel that we have coming up.
Absolutely. And very well said, my sister. And just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with being nice. In fact, we encourage it. However, if you don't have a backbone, it could definitely put you at a disadvantage, not only related to your personal relationships, but to other aspects in your life. So trust me, today's show, you're in for a treat with some amazing guests. And Gianni, tell the people where they can find your amazing work and anything else you want to share before we pivot to our show.
So you guys can find me on Facebook as Gianni Bansfield. You guys can find me on Instagram at trueomni_beauty. I am a hairdresser. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 10 years as well as a hairdresser. I also do network marketing. I'm with a community by the name of Alpha Project, which I truly love. It's an amazing community. So if there's anybody that's out there that wants to be a part of amazing community and learn how to create another source of income, let me know. I will be more than gladly to explain more information to you guys. So reach out whenever you guys want. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Financial literacy is missing. And that's a great platform you have yourself. So thank you for sharing that. And also to the DBDS family, now you have the capability to call in live during our show called the Exchange segment later on. So make sure you call in, leave a comment, share your thoughts. Don't be shy. And you can also check us right now on DBDS Live on our YouTube channel. And also our podcast, DBDS Live LLC.podbean.com, which is also integrated with Spotify and iHeartRadio. So you don't miss these fire episodes. Trust me. So with that being said, Gianni, you ready to bring our first guest into the studio? You ready?
I'm ready for it. Bring them on in.
So I'm talking about, okay. All right. All right. So the first guest coming into the DBDS Live studio is my sister, Ernetta. Welcome to DBDS Live.
Hey, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
We're doing amazing, my sister.
Absolutely.
All right. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me, Nell. I'm so excited to be here with the DBDS family. Well, my name is Ernetta Caldwell, and I am an author, speaker, coach, and actress, as well as the founder of Beauty for Ashes Transformations, where I teach women that have experienced the devastation of going through a heartbreak, separation, or divorce to overcome by implementing self-love, healing, and transformation. I am also the creator of the Prayer Vision Box, where it's all about your prayers manifesting into tangible realities. I am originally from Massachusetts, but I currently reside in South Carolina with my wonderful husband. I am a mommy and a glammy. And I am here today because I had experienced the devastation of going through a divorce. And I remember in my darkest season of my life, when I wanted to give up, I cried out to God and said, God, if I make it through on the other side, I want to be able to reach back and help other people get through as well. So thank you.
That is amazing, my sister. Thank you. I just feel that positive energy flowing through the screen. Thank
Me
you so
too.
much
I
for that.
felt it. I was like, I love it.
Got chills, right? Oh. Next coming into the DBDS Live studio is my sister, Jenelle. Welcome to DBDS Live.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Mel, for the invitation. Hi, ladies, my beautiful queens.
Love it, love it.
Hey.
So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
Sure. My name is Jenelle Tyson. I am a full-time entrepreneur. The name of my company is named Culture Beast Collection. I create waist beads that represent healing, embrace self-love and truth. I also create crystal necklaces, bracelets for men and also for women, and necklaces for children, men and women as well. I reside in the DMV area in Maryland, and I am a mother of two. And where you guys could find me on my social media platform is Culture Beast Collection on Instagram and on Facebook. And my website is www.culturebeastcollection.com. So I am here on the show because I am engaged, and I think that I could give some wonderful information to you queens and kings out there who are listening today.
Ooh, that is so amazing. Congratulations on your engagement. Thank you so much. That's simply amazing, my sister. And you thought we were done? Nah, we have another one coming to the studio. Our next sister coming in is Nardia. Welcome to DBDS Live.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
So my name is Nardia Grant, and I currently reside in Hartford. I'm a healthcare worker as well as an entrepreneur. My business is Neat Body Brews and Blends, where I provide alternative drinks and herbal medicine. My motto is a neat body brings a neat mind and an uplifted spirit. So staying positive, having positive energy around you, all important to me. And the reason why I'm on the show today is each one teach one. As a collective, we can make a difference. We can make a difference, of course, on our own, but as a collective, we help each other, right? So every input is important, whether good or bad.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And thank you for you being on the front line. I know this pandemic is really tough out there. So we appreciate your service. And thank you again. It's an honor for you to be on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So today, I think it's a must to analyze this nice syndrome, this topic we're talking about today, because I feel it's important to have a backbone and keep the edge. Now, for me, speaking from experience, I believe when you have a backbone, you don't allow people to walk all over you, or you're not afraid to speak your mind, or you're not afraid to speak up if someone is harming you or your loved one, and the list could go on and on. But before we get deep with this topic, we have a DBDS Anonymous section where people share their thoughts, their issues, and they come to us for some guidance. So I'll have my sister Gianni read the letter. Take it away, Gianni.
Okay. There's a little. Do you hear a little echo?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So it says, "Dear DBDS, I guess I'm going to invent. I'm going to invent right now because I'm a little annoyed. I ordered my girlfriend a custom-made gift for our 1-year anniversary. We live about 2 hours away from each other and don't see each other much because of COVID. Yesterday, she received the gift that I had sent her, and her son called to ask if I had ordered her something because I didn't tell her it was coming since it was meant to be a surprise. She told me she will call me back and and since then I haven't had any communication with her. Due to the fact that she has a lot on her plate, such as her mom, her kids, school, work, and her abusive ex. Throughout the years, I have felt that our relationship has been lopsided. For example, if I wanted to express my point of view, which is different from hers, then she will get angry. She will then proceed to give me the silent treatment and refuse to sleep with me. So I try to be on my best behavior because I love her. However, this custom made gift that I have poured my heart and soul into hurts my feelings when she shows a lack of appreciation. I have been I have been tired. I have been trying to understand all of this and giving her her distance. But when you tell me that you're going to call me back and you never call, it's a bit irritating. I don't want to be a jerk, but I'm just like, you can't give me 5 minutes. That is pretty messed up to me. It's been this way throughout the year. I'm having second thoughts of marrying her. And any advice to our relationship, I would gladly use the help.
Okay, my brother. Well, thank you for your letter. I mean, first off, by you even reaching out, that's a sign that you want to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, stepping out the zone. We appreciate it. So we're going to have our sisters give some amazing advice, as well as myself, to help you in the right direction, guide you in the right direction, by the way. So I'm coming to my sister, Nardia. This brother got a lot on his plate. How can we help him?
Well, from what I hear, his partner sounds like they're very stressed. And when someone is very stressed, they can be going through so much emotionally, that is even wearing on their body. I mean, it sounds like there's lack of communication as well. So that's a bigger issue, I would say. And when you communicate, of course, you can find out more of what's going on. But because this person also has so much going on, that seems like that's why there's lack of communication. Even though it's been a year, I would say, a lot can happen in a year for some people, but it seems like they're almost at a step where they're still fresh because they haven't covered certain areas, even getting to that piece of having that important communication. And I would say, even though COVID is going on, if you really, really want to make a difference right now, you have to literally drive there and see what's going on with her, because you don't know what state she's in at this moment, even though you want her to call you back, and you're focused on this gift, which is a material item. Yes, I understand. You poured yourself into this gift, but it's material versus we don't know what's going on with her health. And, you expressed that, she has a lot on her plate. And at that point, material items kind of go out the window. So the main thing right now, I would say, is to really drive there, and that would make a difference. You showing up in person, which is showing that you're being supportive as a partner, and you also can really just see where y'all at once you meet up with her, and communicate like, hey, is this something that you want to do? And it sounds like, for you want to marry her, like you said, right? So right now is the time where you be that supportive partner and show her you can be there for her since she has so much on her plate, because support is just so vital. At any point in a relationship, I would say, and it proves character. So those are some of my advice that I would give to you.
Okay, very well said. My people's communication is the key. I'm coming to my sister, Ernetta. What advice you have for this brother?
Yes, well, I'm gonna definitely piggyback on Mel and Nardia, what you're saying about the communication piece, because it does sound like she has a lot on her plate right now. And sometimes when people's plates are full, you don't want to shut out people, but sometimes you have to in order to get your mind right, to get yourself right. She might be on that survival mode, trying to take care of her kids, trying to deal with what's going on with her abusive ex or whatever she has going on. And she just needs you to be there for her. She needs you to be there to let her know, I got you, So that my thing is definitely communicate. If you can go down there to see her, to be present for her. Sometimes we just need to be present for each other, to let each other know that we have each other's back. It's probably not that she doesn't feel like ungrateful for the gift. Maybe she's very grateful for it, but right now that's not her priority. And sometimes in life, especially with going through a pandemic, we have so much going on. You have to set your priorities in order. So I definitely say, don't give up, continue to have faith in it, pray. I'll definitely encourage you to do that, but be there for her, be that support, and really communicate to really find out what exactly is going on.
Very well said. Be supportive. Absolutely. Coming to my sister, Jenelle, what advice you have for this brother?
All right. So said, ladies and Mel. I totally agree with everything that you guys are saying. Communication is very, very important, especially during this time. There's so much going on. And, she's a mother and she has kids. We did not, me as a mother as well, I didn't sign up to be a teacher and to be home and homeschool. And that enough right there is a lot. I mean, you're now the teacher, and not saying that your gift was a good idea, but maybe it could have been something else that you could have did. Maybe you could have came over there and, talk to her about, how you're feeling. I think that would be a good way to express what's going on. And maybe you could say, maybe you could take the kids for a day or two and, just give her some space to think about everything that's going on, because, things get very complicated and frustrated at times. So that would be my advice. And also, there's this book called The Love Language. If you're watching this, it's a good book to read. They also have a quiz where you could, I think if you just Google love language quiz, and it pretty much tells you a synopsis about yourself and your partner, whether they like gifts or if it's communication, words of affirmation. Oh, you have it. There you go, right there, Queen. I would recommend anybody who wants to learn their partner to read that book and take that quiz. I did it myself. I'm engaged. It's a lifesaver. So I would highly recommend that. And that's my advice, to figure out what that love language is and communicate with your queen, especially you do want to marry her. So she is important to you. And you seem like you're a good man. So just try to figure out another way to form that communication back together as one.
Okay. Very well said. I appreciate that. Nuggets, my people. I'm coming to my sister, Gianni. This brother got a lot on his plate. How can we help him?
Everybody's answers were absolutely great. I just wanted to come at it from a different angle. And the only reason why I say that is because he said it's been going on for a year. So they've only been together for a year. So you have to ask yourself, what are you going to tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate? Because if it's been going on for a year, to me, it sounds like she's not that interested. I could see if it was going on, just started going on, or, maybe 5 months into it, maybe it started there. But I wouldn't say right off the back that it's been going on, just because it just seems like she has a lot actually on her plate. And she might not be ready for a relationship. And it sounds like you're ready for a relationship. I say put your feelings to the side if you really genuinely care about the relationship. And like the rest of the ladies said, take a ride out there, get a clear understanding. I feel like people have never get a really clear understanding of where they stand in their situations. So I just say get a clear understanding of where she stands and where you stand, and make a plan to figure out if you guys are going to make this work or if you guys are not going to make it work. If you're not going to make it work, then, you guys both go your way, you figure out whatever you want to figure out, and she can go her way. But if you guys really do decide to make it work, it's called sacrifices. So, you're going to have to make that sacrifice to, I don't know, drive every weekend. I don't know what it is that you guys will sacrifice, but little things like that. So that's my advice. So yeah, just stick to it if that's something you want. If you don't, just let it go.
Oh, very, very well said. And before I piggyback off of my sisters, I have a couple of comments. One from my sister, Nicole.
Go, G. Gianni. Thank you. Hey, Nicole.
Right, love it. Hello. Next comment right here.
Leave the relationships. Either she's too busy or just not interested anymore. Communication is a big factor that can break or make a relationship.
And that was from our sister, Miss Mitchell. I appreciate that. Well, listen, just based off the letter, and I'm going to come to it from a different angle as well. You said it's been going on for a year, and the silent treatment. And when you have arguments, it always goes her way, and there's no compromising. Well, I feel like the right partner, regardless of how much they have on their plate, they will still reciprocate that same amount of energy and effort within a relationship. And I feel like when you go through that, it kind of creates like a healthy yet strong foundation. One thing that all my sisters stated that I want to address is communication. So you got to find out where you guys stand at this point. Because, at this point, you may have to step out of your comfort zone and express how you feel. So that way she's aware of how she's treating you. Because as a man, you should never feel afraid to confront the problem head on, of course, in a respectful manner, in order to analyze the root to the problem. And I believe one thing a man should never lack is strength, which means you have personal boundaries in place and not allow someone to walk all over you. You said it's been a year. This is like a consistent basis, almost like a pattern. And I feel like a lack of strength will invite a lack of respect. And this is why she does, at this moment, even though she has a lot on her plate, but it sounds like to me that she does not value your time and this silent treatment, and using sex as a bargaining chip. These are things that are not relevant in your situation right now. So as my sister stated, communicate with her. And I believe your letter fits the narrative of our show today, which means you need to grow a spine. And sometimes you have to give people the gift of missing you so they can truly value and appreciate you. Okay. Mm-hmm. So again, thank you so much for your letter. Hope it helps you on your journey. And thank you so much for reaching out, because it starts there to realize that you need some help. All right. So now we're going to journey on to our topic. And today's show, again, is being too nice. What impact of being too nice can have on your relationship and how to keep your edge. So the first subtopic that we're going to touch on is seeking validation from others. This brother is just like, please, just give me a chance, please. But you got to put that love inside first, brother. All right, so let me go ahead and size this up. So when you're way too nice without any personal boundaries, I feel like there's some level calculated to gain someone's approval, almost to the point that you may allow someone to take advantage of you just to get them to like you. Mm-hmm. So I'm coming to my sister, Nardia. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
I would totally agree. When you're trying to seek validation, sometimes you're not rational. So you may make decisions that's very far-fetched that a rational thinking person wouldn't. And, it would also mean that you're kind of lacking self-love, I would say, because, the more you love yourself, then you seek less validation from anyone else. And you know that you're worth it. You know that you're, you know what you're worth in general, no matter who it is. Somebody you're confident about who you are. If they accept you, they do. If they don't, they don't. Simple. But seeking validation, it can just go so wrong. It can push someone to have low self-esteem. It can just cause a lot of bad behaviors, stress. And I just encourage people to, like Ernetta said before, like look into self. Self-love is just so important. The more you do that, the less validation you'll find that you need from others. And I understand some others' opinions are important. To also take others and take constructive criticism, I would say, but don't let it kind of, I would say, I don't know if I should say build your character, like change who you are, just pretty much go back to know you're worth it, know who you are, so finding self.
That's right. Thing is that when you're authentic and your true self, you will get that right person. That's the first shots fired on the show, by the way. So now I'm coming to my sister, Jenelle. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Oh, seeking validation. I think that is very critical, and it starts with yourself, loving you for who you are. That's one thing I do embrace within my business, especially with my waist beads. I tell my clients all the time, it's all about embracing who you are. Don't compare yourself to other people and stuff like that. Look within yourself, and that's all that matters. So embrace that self-love, and you will find yourself, is what my advice would be for that.
Okay, straight and direct. Well said, very well said. Coming to my sister, Ernetta, what are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Well, I would have to say, definitely, I know this oh too well. So first, you have to start by seeking that validation within yourself. Like everybody said, having that self-love, knowing your self-worth. For me, like I said, going through a divorce, it really changed who I was, because I wrote a book, and my book is called A Journey to a Healed Heart, Healing Through a Painful Divorce. And I actually have a chapter. The chapter is called Identity Christ Says. I did not know who I was in Christ. I did not know my worth, right? When he walked away, he took a piece of me with him. I was shattered. I was broken. I can tell you more about him, what he liked. I can tell you more about my kids, but I didn't know Ernetta. I didn't know who I was. I couldn't show up for myself. And then once I got into a place to know, wait a minute, hold up. God has created me. He has fearfully and wonderfully made me. And when God started to piece me back together, I did not need validation from nobody else, because as long as God approves me, I don't need a man nor a woman nor a child to validate Ernetta, because she knows who she is. So I'm telling you, it's real. But that self-love, it starts with you. It starts with you. And this is actually an insert from my book. I want to read this. The more I started to identify with who God was, the more I started to realize who I was in him. So.
Very powerful, very well said. You got to pour that love inside first. I mean, when you're just overly nice, sometimes you're overly passive and you don't have any principles. You got to have principles. I'm coming to my sister, Gianni. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
I'm sorry, I was muted. So I have to say everybody's answers are truly amazing. Ernetta, I literally, my eyes got teary. I was in a really bad relationship too at a period of time in my life. And I agree with seeking validation. It's basically you being in a state of mind where you don't know who you are, and you become very vulnerable. It goes back to what everybody else said, is really learning yourself, giving yourself self-love, and some people really just don't know how to do it. So real quick, I'm not going to go so far in depth, but it starts with changing your story. It starts with really building a relationship with God. It starts with saying to yourself that you're worthy. You know, say affirmations to yourself. Really start to understand the mind and how the mind works. We have our conscious mind and we have our subconscious mind. And we're constantly telling ourselves our old stories that sit in our subconscious minds. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can change your stories, your old program. You can change them into new stories. So I say, tell yourself that you are worthy. Tell yourself that you are beautiful every day. It has to be a consistent thing that you tell yourself every day. And I guarantee you, a month from now, 40 days from now, your mind is now starting to change its old program. And instead of it telling yourself that you are no longer worthy, it's now telling yourself that you are worthy. So I want you to understand how powerful your mind is. Your mind is literally like a computer. It doesn't matter whether you feed it positive stuff or negative stuff. So if you constantly feed it negative things, you're going to constantly get negative results out of that. So feed it positive things on a consistent basis. And I promise you, I'm getting goosebumps talking about this. You will get positivity in your life. I've put it to the test. I promise you guys. Use that subconscious mind of yours when you're in a deep state and speak nothing but positivity, and you can get that. And I promise you, you will not need validation from nobody.
Well said. Well said.
Sorry.
I'm gonna pull up some comments. I love it. No, I'm bowing down, Queen. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. So I'm gonna pull up a couple of comments from some of our Facebook users. Let's go to the first one right here from my girl Aisha.
Oh, okay. It says seeking validation stems from usually a lack of childhood validation.
Yes, I can agree with that. I'm a full advocate of two-parent households, and not just that, but great parents, you know, to provide that love from the parents to embrace that, right? Next comment right here.
We must first identify why we are seeking validation and deal with the root, that root issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one more comment from Aisha.
There is also healthy validations.
Yes, I agree with that. That's related to what you just said, Gianni. That, to me, I call that transformational vocabulary. When you put that positive affirmation in you and it becomes you, you know, so drop a. Thank you so much for those amazing comments. Now, just my little 2 cents. When you're seeking approval, to me, you're trying to gain someone else's satisfaction. It doesn't come across to me that you're a confident person. I think it comes across that you're needy and desperate. And as Aisha stated, this could be related to childhood validation, because right now we're in a generation where it's mostly based on instant gratification. And to me, that rarely provides like great long-term results or a lifetime commitment. And that's why the self-love that we're emphasizing so much today comes into play, because I think this creates a great filtration process to see if there's any compatibility or chemistry with that particular person that you're trying to get to know. And I just feel like also seeking validation means you're looking for someone to complete you, whereas you should be whole. You should be working on yourself, putting all that energy inside yourself so you can share your completeness with that particular person. And this is why it is so important to never lose your edge. Like, be nice, but never to the point to follow someone's rules of engagement or allow your emotions to put you in a position to get hurt or to be used or manipulated. Because the reality is, when you seek validation, you're actually giving that particular person the power to set the tone of the relationship, especially if it's the wrong person. Right?
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We are going to burn the studio down. This is DBDS Live. Sit tight. We'll be right back.
Are you single? Do you know about DBDSsingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up today at dbdssingles.com. Let's make love and loyalty dope again.
Hey, welcome back to DBDS Live. I'm here with my sister Nardia, my sister Jenelle, my sister Ernetta, and my sister Gianni. We've just been dropping nuggets, and we are talking about being super nice. You know, you must have an edge. You got to have an edge. And before we continue with our show, I'd just like to give some shout outs to our viewers today. Special shout out to Toya, Monica, Jeanette, Ashley, Aisha, Tamika, Fabuloa, Danielle, thank you for watching. Live, Jeff Roderick, Dan, China, Talisha, Maria, Tracy, my brother Gotham from Bangalore, India, on the other side of the world watching our show. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So we're going to keep the show rolling and flowing. Appreciate you guys tuning in. So the next subtopic that we're going to touch on, which is if you be too nice, this is what can happen to you if you don't have a backbone. No boundaries in place. You see, when you don't have a backbone, this can possibly happen in your situation. So I'm going to go ahead and size this up right here. So my thing is that when you don't have any boundaries in place, this often makes it seem that you may feel like a helpless victim. And when someone has this way of thinking, it puts them at a disadvantage in a relationship and, of course, makes them less attractive. So I'm coming to my sister, Ernetta. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
I would definitely say it is so important to set boundaries in any type of relationship, not just a boyfriend, girlfriend, a marriage, friendships as well, because if you don't set boundaries, sometimes people can take advantage of you. They can take your kindness as a weakness. You have to show people how to treat you. And sometimes, once again, it starts with you, how you treat yourself. If you can make promises to other people, but you can't keep promises to yourself and do things for yourself, then how can you expect somebody to do the same for you? So you have to really early on in any relationships, set the tone, let them know what you stand up for, what you're about. Because sometimes, you know, when you are a kind person and you don't really want to set those boundaries, you feel like, well, I don't want to offend somebody and I don't want to say something to hurt their feelings. But you can go in grace. You can go as a kind person just to be direct and say, hey, this is what I need from you, or this is what I don't like. So really set the tone early on.
Very well said. And that is so. Tell people that you have to have boundaries. You know, when you set those boundaries in place, then people will respect you. You know, I'm coming to my sister Nardia. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Definitely agree with Ernetta. It's very important to have boundaries in place. Otherwise, things can spiral out of control in so many different ways. I mean, it can cause stress to the partner. I mean, so many on different levels, you know. And I would say something that I learned or I've heard about in someone else's past relationship was because they didn't have boundaries and they felt like they could do whatever they wanted to do. They didn't. I mean, well, they end up leaving the person, right? Because they just felt like, okay, this person clearly doesn't even respect themselves enough, and it's just like there's no challenge. Like I could do what I want. Like so, look, that was another way it kind of spiraled out of control. And I was younger when I kind of heard this story, but it opened my mind and just showed me like, wow, like, you know, it was a guy that felt like that. And it, you know, it just let me know, like, listen, let it be known, set the tone, like Ernetta said, like, because you know, you will get left. You might be interested in thinking like, okay, I could let him do what he want. Like some people have this perception like, okay, he comes home to me, so yada yada. I don't believe in stuff like that. Like, you know, that's just an example, but it's just like setting the tone. Like, I'm not gonna deal with certain things, and that's not what I'm about. So the boundary is just important to have in place, you know, so people know what it is, not to pass that, and you know, they know who you are, and you're not playing.
Nicely said. One of my favorite actors for back in the day is Jim Carrey, and he came out with a movie called Yes Man, and all he did was say yes, and he got the girl of his dreams. Listen, brothers, this is not a movie. You know, you have to have boundaries. It's okay to say no sometimes, whether male or female, you know, woman or man. It's okay to say no. You know, sometimes when you just say yes all the time, you think you're making yourself more attractive, but you're actually doing the opposite. I'm coming to my sister Jenelle. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Oh, this is actually something that I have struggled in because I am someone who's very nice, overly caring at times. I'm a people person. I want to make sure that everyone around me is happy. So I had to learn how to set boundaries, and that was something that I struggled with. And I also have a life coach that I'm actually working with now. For anyone who's out there who's struggling, who want to learn how to set boundaries, her name is TJ Self Care. She is amazing. And if you don't set boundaries, what that could mentally drain you. Like if you're constantly helping somebody and borrowing things to them, especially like money, and then you don't set those boundaries of how people are supposed to pay you back, and you're just like all over the place, and then that comes with distress and all kinds of things. So there are things that you should not tolerate, and especially in a relationship. Nobody has the authority to talk to you any kind of way, especially if it's disrespectful, and if it's any kind of tone or anything like that. That's a big no-no. You have to set boundaries early in a relationship. No one should be calling your phone at 11 o'clock at night. You need to also set those boundaries with your friends and your family. You know, you do not call me at this time because my man may think it's somebody else when it's, you know, you calling, you know, want to cry about your relationship. But there's a time and a place for everything. And after hours, that you should not be doing that. So you have to set those boundaries with your relationship, with your friends and family, and also with your business and your workplace. There are business hours. I had to learn that too. I can't be answering DMs any time of the night. And then if I don't respond at 2 o'clock, you're upset. I mean, that is not my office hours. You need to send me an email between these times, and this is when I can respond. After that, it's gonna have to wait till the next day. So those are things that I had to learn myself. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
You're absolutely right, Janelle. This transitions more than just personal relationships, as Ernetta and Nardia and what you guys have mentioned. This is all other aspects of your relationship. People asking for money, for all this, and if you don't set something in stone, they're going to continue just to take advantage of that situation. I'm coming to my sister Gianni. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Okay, my thoughts on no boundaries. I agree with everybody's answer. I've had my own experience as far as like Jenelle had said. I was in a place too where I've always been super nice, always just tolerated everything that came my way. But I want to say that once you do your personal development, you'll start to learn a lot of things. And one of those things is like wisdom. You know, there's nothing wrong with applying the wisdom that you learn to your life. And by you setting boundaries and keeping your word, understand wisdom, there's really a lot to understand about keeping your word and what your word means. So what I'm trying to say is when you set boundaries, you're also setting the tone for when you tell someone something, you're keeping your word. Always remember to keep that word. Don't just say it for the moment and then now because something happened, you're taking it away. No, you stay firm to that. Stay firm to that. And also another thing is when someone is trying to set boundaries, don't make assumptions, have communication. Let's talk about it, because when you make assumptions now that's opening up a door that you're creating all these stories in your head where it's just, you're creating a story for the person that has already set the boundaries instead of asking that person, why did you set these boundaries? What are the reasons for these boundaries? And maybe you can start applying them to your life. Maybe they can help you when you apply these boundaries to your life. So it's really good to have boundaries in all aspects of life, when it comes to family, relationships, everything. And like I said, never assume, and just do it in do your best at everything. That's what I should say. When you set boundaries, do your best. And when I mean do your best, have feelings of just like, this is what it is. And don't be so, I guess, angry about it when you say it. Because when you're angry, it makes you come off as demanding. And you don't want to come off demanding. You just want to say, this is my do's and my don'ts. Please respect it, and I'll respect you. So, yeah.
Simple as that. Well said. And listen, before we continue, I'm just going to pull up a comment right quick from one of our viewers.
Keep our word to ourselves is so important. Yes, it is.
Yes, keeping your word is very important. That speaks of character. That speaks of integrity. You got to keep your word. Keep your word, you follow through with it. So my take on it from a man's perspective, and these particular brothers, as I mentioned earlier, man, it's not a movie, this is reality. You have to realize that I believe classy sisters are really attracted to leadership and a certain assertiveness and confidence within themselves. Because if you don't have boundaries in place, it means you don't have respect for yourself. And in fact, when you set boundaries with the right woman, she will feel love. Because it communicates that you honor yourself, and classy women find this attribute very attractive. I feel like it also shows that you have core values, which indicates if that particular person oversteps your boundaries on a consistent basis, then you have no problem with moving on to your next potential queen who's right for you. Because a man who possess healthy boundaries understand that the most valuable resource is their time. It should not be given away for free or to someone who does not reciprocate. And that goes for our sisters out there too, because I feel as if time is currency. You can get money back, but time you can never get back, right? So we're gonna go ahead and just keep it flowing. But before doing so, we're gonna take another commercial break. Now, when we come back, you'll have the pleasure to call in, share your comments, your thoughts. We'll take a couple of calls. This is DBDS Live. Sit tight, my peoples.
So many people are calling for police reform. And so because they're calling for police reform, they may not understand that there are many organizations who are already responding.
And I feel like you have to really get to know people, see if they share the same core values as you before you get involved with them.
I want to ask a question as to how we got to this place right here, where mask wearing, where COVID-19, where public health is all politicized. I really want you all to think about this. How did we get to this particular point?
It's really a nice balance when femininity and masculinity can mix together and just create this awesome, experience.
Welcome back to DBDS Live. I'm here with my sister Ernetta, my sister Jenelle, my sister Nardia, and my sister Gianni. We've been dropping bombs, fire, everything like that. So Just make sure that you tune in to our show on YouTube Live right now on DBDS Live. You can check it out. And now it's time to exchange your thoughts and comments. And if you have any questions or thoughts, you can call in live right now at 860-365-9710. I'm going to go ahead and put the number up on our screen right here. It is 860-365-9710. So we're going to keep this show flowing until we have a caller call in. All right. So the next topic that we're going to touch on, which I think is very important since we're almost towards the end of our show, is get stressed out in difficult situations. So I'm going to go ahead and cue this up. Oh, actually, we have a call. Okay. Let's take a look here. Thank you for calling DBDS Live. State your name and where you're calling from. Oh, I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
Candace calling from Florida.
Welcome. You have a question or do you want to leave a comment?
A comment.
Please share.
Hi, everyone. So sometimes people can take your kindness as a weakness, so it's good to have a backbone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that comment and thank you for calling in.
Thank you. By the way, great show.
Oh, thank you so much, my sister.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Nice.
That is so true. Thank you for that comment, you know. So yes, we're going to touch on get stressed out in difficult situations. So let me cue this up. I feel like sometimes unexpected situations may arise, and those who are nice without a backbone are afraid to de-escalate the situation. So internally, they'd rather be stressed out instead of standing up for themselves or their significant other, or finding ways to be comfortable with being uncomfortable to solve a problem. So I'm coming to my sister, Jenelle. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
All right, so my thoughts kind of piggyback on that letter we received from that gentleman. I feel like that young lady that he's in this relationship with is showing signs of being stressed out in a difficult situation. And that's why she's probably having these behavior patterns. So I think that that is very critical because stress could lead to depression. It could also be signs of you not wanting to communicate with, the people that are around you because you just shut down. So if you're around somebody, you notice these signs, it's good to try to seek help, to get them some help, because these are behaviors that are not normal and it could lead to other things. So for me, that's a very tough topic because that could lead to, so many different things. It could lead to maybe you could bring out things that you experienced when you were a child, like anger, and you just start lashing out. You're like driving down the street with your partner in the car and someone cuts you over and you're like, going crazy, throwing up hand signs, and you're just like, whoa. So I just feel like that could definitely alleviate to a lot of different things. And people show those signs whenever they're under pressure and under stress. So
very well said. Yeah, I think you have to be in control of your emotions and not allow your emotions to control you. In fact, have a quick comment right quick from this brother. You see?
Stress is not normal.
Yeah, you gotta have a drama-free life, brother. I understand. Thank you for your comment. I'm coming to my sister, Nardia. What are your thoughts on this particular topic? Oh, you muted.
Sorry about that. You did call my name, right? I think I heard
yes.
Right. So yeah, getting stressed out in difficult situations. I mean, it's normal, but if you don't have a backbone, it makes it worse. Because you're gonna stress out easily. I would say some people try to make it work by making their partner happy, no matter what what's going on. But in reality, we're human, so everybody has a breaking point. And if you push yourself too far, you're going to be stressed. Sometimes you might not even notice you're stressed, but you may be falling apart in some areas where you never did before, so because everybody stresses differently. And, I would say it's important to balance. So, for people that aren't self-aware, when they come to, I would say find a balance and getting to know self. It kind of goes back to that, because if you know yourself, then you know where your breaking point is kind of, and you know what to do next pretty much, if you feel like you're about to get stressed out, in the relationship. You talk to your partner, communication is key. So it pretty much goes back to a lot of things we covered in the other topics, in being in a relationship and what's important to have it work. And to communicate. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, the brother that stated that stress is not normal, he misspoke. He said stress is normal. Okay. I still feel like you need to, try your best to live a drama-free life. So that's the case here. I'm coming to my sister, Ernetta. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
I would have to say with stress is really knowing what is your triggers. So I work as a registered nurse. I'm an actual school nurse, and there is some stress every day going into work. We're in the middle of a pandemic, right? So it's how I have to look at it and how I have to set my tone for the day. And if you take on too much and you try to do too much, you are going to deplete yourself. You cannot feel others if you're depleted and you're empty, so you have to really set that tone for that and know, okay, I need your help with this. Speak up for yourself, learn how to say no. Sometimes it's hard to say no, but you have to learn, I cannot do this today because this is going to stress me. I have enough on my plate. And like you said, Jenelle, like back to the letter, the lady, she just might have her plate full. She got too much going on. And she doesn't know how to speak out and ask for help. Sometimes we don't know how to speak out and say, can you help me? I need help. And I think that's so important that we need to do to help, get that stress off of us, get help. Don't try to do it by yourself.
Very well said. Sometimes it takes, when you have a good emotional support system that can alleviate a lot of that stress off of you. I'm coming to my sister Gianni. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
My thoughts on the topic. Say it again, please. It's like I'll just play. So no, my thoughts about the stress is. Can you guys hear me? Because I just see somebody said I can't hear.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thoughts on it is stress isn't healthy. Stress can really kill someone. And for me, stress, it all depends on how you respond to stress. First, you have to realize what is it that you're stressing over. Because once you realize what is it that you're stressed over, you can then tackle the situation at hand. If you don't know what you're stressed over, then you can't tackle the situation. And then whenever you do figure out that situation, you have to sit back and say, now, how can I handle this? And what place am I going to come when I go to respond to this stress? Am I going to come from a place of hate, or am I going to come from a place of love? Because there's no gray area. You're only coming from hate, or you're only coming from love. So that goes back to now saying, I have to act, and I'm going to act from a positive place. And if you act from a positive place and your spiritual side, you're going to get positive response in the outcome. I know it's so hard for people to feel that and think that, but if you really, really get so deep into your spiritual side, I promise you it works. So really try to revert to happy thoughts. Really try to get in tune with working from the inside out, not from the outside in. A lot of people work from the outside in, and it's really having to work from the inside out and really putting out that love, because people don't realize we have a vibration. And when we put out love, our vibration is going amongst the rest of the world. So it's going to bring back that energy and bring us more love into our lives. So try not to be stressed out. Try to really revert that energy back to something positive. Try to get a routine in your life in the morning, early routine of just meditating and really getting in tune for 5 minutes out of your day. If you can't do 5 minutes, do 2 minutes. Start off something small, but really focusing on one thing and just relaxing your mind and saying, I'm not stressed. I'm okay, and I can handle this. Because now that goes back to me saying, when you talk to your subconscious mind, you're using your conscious mind to talk to your subconscious mind so that you can start delivering that message. So now that stress starts to relieve itself, and now you don't think about it anymore. It's gone. It's starting to fade away because you're mentally teaching your brain. I feel like the world doesn't teach us what God really created for us, how to really work our mind. He created our mind. So to really teach us to learn how to work with it, there's nothing wrong with talking to ourselves. So talk to yourself. I promised you, try it as a method. I talk to myself. I thought it was crazy, but I talk to myself, and I talk to myself through my stress moments. I do have stress moments. I don't want to make people think that I don't, but I used to let it last months. I used to let it last for weeks. Now I let my stress moments last me 20 minutes, if that. I'm good. I don't want no negative energy. So all I'm trying to say is, what you put your energy into, it will come back to you. It's going to duplicate. It's going to triple. So if you focus on stress and negativity, that's what you're going to keep getting into your life. So try to focus on positivity and all of those good things. So that's what I have to say.
All right. And since we're a little over time, we're going to continue. We're going to just, be real quick. I'm going to give my 2 cents in, and I'm going to just state it from a man's perspective. So I just feel like in any given situation, a man should always, always be in control of his emotions and never allow his emotions to control him. And I feel like those that are soft without a spine have no control in stressful situations. Yes, stress is normal, but they tend to turn the other cheek or prefer to bail. And I'm not talking about just the physical aspects of a situation, but I'm talking about protection and handling difficult situations verbally. And sometimes these brothers, for example, are afraid to defend their woman if someone is talking negative about her, or they're afraid to walk on eggshells. So they'll agree with everything somebody else is saying just to not really express how they truly feel about the situation. And I believe as men, when a difficult situation arises, our first natural instinct is protection. A real man, he doesn't get stressed out because he's calm and he's not easily rattled by any situation. And when a man cares about his woman or his loved one, he wants to be that woman's hero, whether it's protecting her verbally or physically. So with that being said, we're going to take one more commercial break. And when we come back, that's right, it's time for our Jerry Springer moment. So sit tight. This is DBDS Live. We'll be right back.
If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
I want to say thank you to my big brothers, Mel and Mo, for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Welcome back to DBDS Live. It's about that time, and I'm here with my sister Jenelle, my sister Nardia, my sister Ernetta, my DBDS sister Gianni, and it's been nothing but golden nuggets. And if you missed this episode, don't worry. It'll be on heavy rotation throughout the week on Facebook, YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to our channel and also to our podcast, DBDS Live LLC, Podbean.com. So now, listen, it's about that time to share our final thoughts. That's right, our Jerry Springer moment. And the first person I'm coming to share their final thoughts of today's show is Nardia. Share the viewers your final thoughts.
So I just want to say again that I'm happy to have been a part of the show today, listening to everyone's input and, each one teach one, like I say. So I might have learned something new today, or I would say, right? So as a collective, we made a difference, I feel like, with others hearing us, and I would also like to take the time out to elaborate on my business, Neat Body Brews and Blends. I didn't really specify before, but I do sell sea moss gel as well as sea moss smoothie blends. And I believe in a neat body brings a neat mind. And, by a neat mind, I mean it uplifted spirit, right? And healing starts from within. That's also a hashtag that I put like on every post. So if we heal from within, we'll just be much better. We talked about like working on ourselves on the inside. So it just, brought everything back full circle for me, like with my business, because healing from within also means that you're loving yourself and you're digging deep within, right? So some people work on their self physically, like you said, on the outside, but what about the inner works? You know what I mean? So you can be you're going to the gym and working out, but what are you really doing? Are you detoxing? Are you doing those other things that, cleansing your blood? Like, so that's what I'm all about, healing from within. That's my motto. So just wanted to share that. Neat Body Brews and Blends. Follow my Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. And I'm going to have to take a trip to Hartford to give me some of that stuff. Thank you. Coming to my sister, Ernetta, what are your final thoughts for today's show?
Well, I want to say thank you so much, Mel, for having me. This was such a great opportunity. Thank you, Gianna, and the other two ladies, Nardia and Jenelle, to be here with you all. But I just want to say, definitely love on yourself. Take care of yourself. It's not a bad thing to have a characteristic, to be a nice person, to be kind, but definitely learn how to stand up for yourself. Learn how to say no when you need to. Know how to put yourself first, because I think people tend to forget, or they tend to think that it's not right to put yourself first, but it is not selfish to put yourself first. So sometimes you have to think of you. So definitely stay connected with me. I have so many different workshops coming up. You can purchase my book. You can go on my website. This is a journey to a healed heart. And this is my t-shirt. This is one of my t-shirts that I made because of what I went through. And it's called, I Have the Confidence of Christ, but some call me bougie. So let me tell y'all something. When you know who you are and you can stand up, people gonna be like, girl, she thinks she all that. No, I don't think I'm all that. I know I'm all that because God created me. So I want you to know that too. So go get your t-shirts. You can go to www.ernettacaldwell.com. Thank you all.
Very powerful. I'm gonna have to get me a copy of your book. Love it. Thank you, sister. We appreciate it. And now I'm coming to my sister, Jenelle. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
All right. Thank you guys for having me here. I hope that everything that I said was inspirational to you guys, your queens and kings who are watching. I want everybody to embrace self-love, healing, and true. Love yourself from within. Speak those affirmations every single day. Say you are beautiful. You are worthy. Set those boundaries and say no. Learn who you are. And it starts from there. Journal, meditate. These are all things that I do on a day-to-day basis, and they are very important. I can't stress this enough. What you say is what you start to see. So you want to make sure that everything that you speak with your tongue is positive, because whatever you say is going to come back to you. And I just want to say thank you guys again. This was just an awesome show, and you guys are so amazing. And last thing, the 5 love languages, to that guy who provided that story to us. Make sure you go on Google and type in 5 love language and love what your love languages are, and then see if your partner could also do the same as well. And hopefully you guys could reconnect starting today, and you guys could move forward. If not, you are a good brother and you could move on and stay strong. And last thing, my business is Culture Beats Collection on Instagram and www.culturebeatscollection.com. and I set a promotion code to anybody who wanted to check out my website and purchase something today. The code will be 20% off my entire store, and that's DBDS20 during checkout. So thank you guys again. Appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you, sister. And it was an honor of you coming onto the show. Please, my peoples, check out her amazing products. Thank you so much, Jenelle. And Gianni, what are your final thoughts for today's show?
So I'm going to keep it simple. So my final thoughts is when it comes to stuff that really matters to you, why settle for fine when fabulous is always on the menu? That's it. Just something sweet, short. It was a pleasure, guys. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. I am so grateful to be able to connect with you guys. And to whoever wants mentorship on a lot of personal development, just let me know. I am here. DM me, and I will be gladly to walk you through my journey. And you learn as you earn as you learn. So if you guys want more details, let me know.
Oh, nicely said. And before I provide you with my final thoughts, I just want to thank this amazing panel. It's amazing sisters. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experience, your knowledge to our brothers and sisters out there. Thank you so much. And make sure you tune in next Sunday, my people, as we will discuss balance between men and women. Thank you. So my final thoughts is there's nothing wrong with being nice or being receptive towards the people around you. However, it's a problem when you allow people to take advantage of you and view your kindness as a weakness. And this is why it's so critical to always love yourself more, because self-love creates filtration process. Self-love creates personal guidelines, principles and codes that you should never break for anyone. And self-love provides the inner strength to avoid or remove yourself out of harmful situations. So always keep your edge, and so the person who comes into your life can be an added bonus. So again, I just want to thank this amazing panel and much love to the DBDS family. Gianni, what we want to say?
Huh? Oh, take it away, Mel.
Here we go. All right.